We are live. We just want to thank everyone again for this, for coming out to be with us. We give Yahuwah the highest esteem for enabling us to come on this, to take part in this Sunday live. I think that He have given us some things to say, some things to point out, at least some things that we need to be aware of, and some things that we need to look for and not, cross that threshold to come into that. We're going to be dealing with this morning. The title of it is recognizing pride-driven traps. Recognizing pride-driven traps. In other words, anything that could lead us into the dark ruach of pride. Me, even though we have this title right here, but I still think that um, there are traps out there, but sometimes this stuff is already in us, and certain things that we would probably go into or begin to take part of, it would just begin to highlight the pride that's actually already in our hearts. So we even have to repent of that and be cleansed of that. So there would be nothing there that the enemy can hang on to. I'm reminded of a scripture this morning, and the address of it, don't know where it is. I have to look it up. I'm sure I can find it, but and it says that don't give Satan place. Don't give him a place in your life, or something like that. Don't give him a place. In other words, you can look at it like this right here. You, the house, don't give him a room. He come knocking at the door. Don't give him a room. Don't welcome him in and say, well, this is your bedroom. You can sleep here. You could be here, because you're dealing with one that will not be just satisfied with a place or with a room. He wants the whole house, and he won't stop until he get the whole house. And that's how many of us are sometimes. Let me pull up something here so I can see the comments of our people. Hold on for 1 minute. We're always experiencing some things, and I'm experiencing something here. Y'all hold on 1 minute here. Okay, got it up. Okay, got it. But nevertheless, we give our praise to him. But we have to have our eyes open and have our hearts in tune with okay, brother Alex is trying to come back in. We'll get him back in here. To the traps that the enemy sets for us. And we do understand about the ruach, the dark ruach of pride. That is the very thing that Yahuwah told Hashatan, pride was found in you. Pride was found in you. And that, even when we was in Christianity, and just like it is in the awakening, if you have the slightest bit of discernment, ruach of discernment in you, we can discern a lot of this that is happening, going on with us, our people today. Let me say this for one thing, and why there can be a lot of pride even among us. We know it's among all people, but it can really be among us for the simple fact, uh, you have to watch sometimes what produces this stuff. Like, people never thought that low self esteem, and I mentioned it yesterday at Shabbat. Low self esteem. You don't care. You don't think too much of yourself. You don't think that you can achieve anything, or you have experienced the spirit of rejection. Guess what? Those things can produce pride. When you do something, when you do accomplish something, it can produce a great amount of pride in our ruach, because you never thought too much of yourself anyway. And now look at you, man. You're accomplishing something. That pride will go to the roof if you don't recognize it, and not curtail it. A lot of people like to treat pride and certain sins sometimes in our life like we would do in a rehab or pain management. Sin is not to be managed. Sin is to be eradicated, and pride is number one in that. If we don't understand that, and I mentioned this before. You can go to Alcohol Anonymous and all that kind of stuff. Here it is now. You're 20 years in sobriety, but you're still saying that I'm a recovering alcoholic. That's no way. Then you're just managing it. Then you're managing alcoholism. No, it could be eradicated. And pride and arrogance is the same way. You know, Yahuwah never came, Yahuwah never sent Yahusha to manage sin in our lives. To not to manage it, he sent him to eradicate it. What about that? He sent him to eradicate it. But we treat it like a pain management class sometimes. And the reason why we're treating it like that, because sometimes deliverance is difficult. No matter how much we make it seem easy to our neighbor or whatever, deliverance is difficult. Why is it difficult? It's because our flesh is strong sometimes because we haven't fed it the Ruach HaKodesh, in order to weaken it. We haven't fed upon the word of the Most High. We haven't done any of these things or commit ourselves to these spiritual exercises. So the flesh is strong. That nature of the flesh is stronger in us than the Ruach HaKodesh. Not that it is stronger than the Ruach HaKodesh. Ruach HaKodesh is just not going to force and kick the door down and just come on in. It's not going to do that. So, if you feed the things of the Ruach HaKodesh, feed on those things, then he will become stronger in us. But if we would continue to feed our flesh, and then, okay, I got your brother Isaac. He said he'll be here. Then your flesh will become stronger, and we don't realize that. And most of the time, when Yahuwah is trying to commence deliverance in us, and we could know we have done wrong, but we'll try to, instead of confessing that thing or getting delivered of that thing, because that's sometimes we will confess, but there's a deliverance process that has to take place, because we can get forgiven of any sin, and it depends on what it is that you are asking the Most High for forgiveness of. Depends on what it is. You also need to be delivered of it. But we stop at the forgiving us process. We stop at that. Not knowing sometimes that you have to be delivered of that thing, though it'll keep coming back. And if we don't get delivered of it, then it's still a back door. I could put it like that. It's a back door for Hashatan to enter in and to start that thing all over again. So we don't need to manage pride. We don't need to manage arrogance. We need to once it's been revealed, once we know it, we don't need to act like it's not there just around others. We don't need to operate in a voluntary, like the scripture says, a voluntary humility, which is nothing but a fake humility. We really need to seek the Most High for deliverance in these areas. But many times, we have become so high, so mighty, and once we was the lowest of it all, again, these things is what produce pride and arrogance in our lives. Because now I have someone praising me, which I've never received that before. Oh, I've achieved something when I thought that that was nothing achievable in my life that I can achieve or whatever. None of that. So you have to watch for these pride driven traps. We have to recognize them, But once recognized, the very first time, once recognized, you need to start doing something about it, like crying out to the Most High, taking care of this stuff. And after that, I want us to just think about that for a minute. When I just give these ones that is on right now shout outs here. I see you, brother. Shalom to you, baby girl, and Brayman. I can't think of. I've never seen you on here before, but shout out to you for coming. Yodit, thank you for that. Thank you for coming in and being with us. Akuta Patricia enjoyed you the other day, girl. You was very. I see she could be comical, So we had a nice time in the private family meeting on Thursdays, in which we have every Thursday. I'd like for more of you guys to come on into this here, because it's not what you think. It's just not what you think. You think that, okay, Cameron, I'm not. No, this is private. This is private, and you can say some things that's on your mind. If you trust us, and we can talk about it. We'll palaw about it. We'll cry with you or whatever needs to be done, and we'll encourage you with it. That's what these meetings on Thursday is designed to be. It ain't designed for you to just, well, I'm not gonna be able to make it there because, man, I got to get my hair done and all that. It's not a beauty place. It's not in it. No, we ain't got nothing to audition. You ain't got. It's not an audition or none of that. It's just for Yasharal family to come together and talk about problems that we don't care to put out on the on social media, and try to get help from within the family and Palau. That's what these family meetings are designed to be. We don't care how you look. We don't care. Do you look? We don't care nothing about that. Things that you would often care about in this world. You know what I mean? We're not trying to go there. We're just trying to pull Yasharal together and be what we be. Suyahu said we're already beautiful naturally, ladies, because it's the ladies that probably would care about these things, But us as men, what's stopping us from coming? Because we don't talk as much as they do. You know what I mean? And no, we don't. Oh, you looking crazy at me now, Suyahu, because I'm doing a lot of talking now. I'm just bringing us in. I'm just doing what I normally do, just doing what I normally do. But anyway, I just wanted y'all to know about that. Don't, and now we got the Tuesday phone call. Shoot, if you don't want to show your face now, we just hear your voice. So if you can, you're not working, you ain't doing nothing, Let me say this right here. I want y'all to recognize this when it comes up. Anything that is helpful to you, anything that the Ruach Kodesh can use to minister to you, Hashatan always have a way, or even can invent a way to keep you from it. Are y'all following me? Did you understand what I'm saying? Anything can happen when I'm not driven toward, the motivation of Yahuwah, or trying to, get the help. You want to stay incognito. I don't know if we have used that word on the live or not, but Lucretia gave us that word. The word is incognito. You want to stay like that, but concerning us, you want to be incognito. But I'm telling you, you can come, you can show your face, and we can get help for each other. You know what I'm saying? Because our Father always hear our palam. You don't have to go through anything alone. Y'all be having a lot to say off line. I be seeing the post and all that kind of stuff, and y'all be having your little fun and all that. Come on, let's have some fun together sometime. I'm just about that. That's all. Let's just have some fun together sometime. Shoot, man. God dog. We at some point we're gonna have to get bolder than what we are, and just still stay in our place. But nevertheless, I said all that, and we're gonna come back to this right here. We're gonna deal with these. We're gonna begin to attempt to teach for you to recognize pride-driven traps. But because we need to do something about that. But before I get into the scriptures right here, do any of you guys want to add to what I've said? Anybody? Don't be shy about it, because we're just talking here. Do you understand what I mean when I said recognizing pride-driven traps? That's a question. I hear crickets. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Pride-driven traps.
Yeah. And these are things that is not easily confessed or even acknowledged among us, especially if you're coming from a place of low self-esteem, or have or experienced the ruach of rejection, and that is just about all of us because of what we have experienced. Sometimes we are born with it. Why? Because of what our fathers, forefathers, great-great-grandfathers, and mothers have experienced. So sometimes it have gotten in the bloodline, the spirit of rejection, low self-esteem, because just how we as a people been told that you're nothing
Yeah.
and you're black, you're ugly, you're cursed, and all that kind of stuff, and you've been beaten and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of us are born with that spirit. Are y'all following me? And especially in that spirit of rejection could come in, especially just like if you have a child, if you have a baby or child or something, and the hospital have to keep that child for a minute because born immaturely and all that kind of stuff, and you left, you had to go home from the hospital, but the child is still there. That child, that spirit of rejection enters into that child then because it hadn't had the chance to bond with that mother. And in itself, that demon comes into that child and tell that they never wanted you. That's the reason they left you. You know, might not be in those words like that. So a lot of us are even born with that spirit of rejection. But when we accomplish something, that spirit of rejection, but when we accomplish something, when we do something that people say, oh, you're so great, you're so great, man, that pride will come in like a flood because you never thought you could accomplish anything. The enemy uses everything at his disposal to plant himself in us, to plant himself in us. You know, many of us, we do things that we know we are not even supposed to do just to bring us validation. You know, the big thing in Yasharal today, you know, is intermingling, intermarriage, and all that kind of stuff. Because a lot of times we marry these people, you know, we love being around them and all that, you know, because believe it or not, to bring you esteem. You might not know at the time that that's what you're looking for because you don't even know that you got the spirit of rejection in you. You don't even know that right now. You know, and so that tells us that we are something. So we have to begin to recognize these traps that the enemy has set for Yasharal.
Yeah,
Are y'all following me what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
This is the very thing that even happened in the beginning. And even your beauty can be a trap for you. I see your hand. I see your finger, Sue, y'all, who go ahead. And we're going to go into the scriptures in a minute here.
Yeah, that is exactly that. I was gonna say now concerning the beauty part. Um, let me make this analogy. Like, let's say you're married and you've been happily married with this man for years now, and let's say the man didn't treat you the way that you wanted him to treat you, but it doesn't mean that the man treated you badly. And then you are a career-driven woman. You're beautiful and everything, you know, but you feel that the man doesn't acknowledge you and whatever, you know, and you are thriving in your career and everything, and you are above him financially and everything, you know. And here comes another man, handsome and everything, you know, and he's busy charming you or something like that, you know. And then you fall for that, and he tells you that that guy doesn't treat you the way that you're supposed to be treated, and you are even above him, you know. That is also pride-driven traps, I believe, because he's installing you. You are allowing Hashatan to use you that time by installing pride. You know, because you feel that you are better than your husband because you're earning more than him, you are higher than him. You
That's
know,
a pride-driven
like
trap.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you fall for that guy, and then what happens? You become an adulteress.
Yeah.
And then you mess up your marriage, you know. So I was just thinking about that.
Yeah, I mean, any little thing will cause us to go into the area of pride, and especially, and I know I be on you guys a whole lot, but I'm not. I don't be on Yasharel to just criticize you. I be on Yasharel because this is what we need in order to come to straighten up, so to speak. We got that's gonna have to become a straightening up in us. We're gonna have to realize, you know, our own flaws, our own sins. You know, we're gonna have to realize that and really confess these things and not take it for granted because our allure is more. We have found out that our allure is more Kadash than God. We have found out that Yahusha is even more Kodash than Jesus. And we're just all over the place when we're in Christianity, worshiping. And now we realize that Yahusha is more Kodash. Yahuwah is more Kodash, but it seems like we didn't simmer down. and still just still giving him the highest praise. If y'all have y'all ever felt that? Because when we was in the Christian church, man, it was hallelujah, dancing and taptoeing down the aisle, especially among us black folk, all that kind of stuff. And the trembling, all this kind of crap. Well, I mean, what had hold of you? I mean,
True.
and a lot of it had to be fake, not fake on your part, because Jesus Christ, if truth be told, since you have come into the understanding and knowledge of who he is, and the devil, he ain't never made nobody just feel good and it was real. So could that stuff have just been all that trembling and shaking and blah, 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 blah? Or could that just been a strong emotion that, or not a fake emotion from your part, but an overwhelming emotion to make you feel good from Hashatan's part, to make you think that you was in the right thing in Jesus Christ. All that, if y'all following what I'm saying, I might not be articulating that right, and I'm sure I'm leaving something out, because Hashatan can never make you feel good. I see your hand, Sister Trudy. He can never and don't want you to feel good. He want to give you a fake feeling that this all is well, all is good. And I haven't seen so much pride in the Christian church. I mean, it's there. But go ahead, Sister Trudy. Go ahead. Take yourself off mute. Okay.
Yes. When I was in Christianity, I would run around the church and stop. It was for me what I was seeking for something more. Like the music would have been done stopped, they have been done set down. I would still be in worship because I was seeking for truth in my pain. So I wasn't a part of. I had got to the point where when they said, all right, sit down, I would sit down. But then what I was going through in my personal life was so much that I was going through. Y'all heard my story. I was just seeking to get out of the pain. Like I've been calling on this man for all these years, and I still have that same burden. I still have that same sting to pain of life. But they said when you call his name, you're supposed to be free. You know what I'm saying? You can deal with stuff better and I just feel like I had that. They were like, okay, so the ushers would try to sit me down, but my ruach was craving for healing of my flesh, so that my ruach could grow. But I wasn't getting that. So before I get in this start playing, I would still be crying out. I would still be seeking him. And after a while, it was like I wasn't getting fed anymore. So I started noticing how he was separating me. I wasn't getting healed. It was like I feel good while I'm in the building, but then my mind is still going while I'm up there doing praise and worship. My bills are still on my mind, but I better make sure I pay this, pastor fee for the anniversary. So it's all emotional. It's all cliquish, like emotional, cliquish, fashion show, emotional over your pain. And I could say, because I'm a woman, I feel that the church used a lot of the women's pain and then would make us broke. You understand? Because we didn't know what a true husband, that he was our husbandman. So I feel like the church used a lot of our pain to gain. When we still wasn't gaining nothing. They took our time. You could be praise and worship. I was on praise and worship. I was Pastor A over all of that. And I was on the choir. And my children was in Sunshine Band. And we were still going home really empty. Once you got that dopamine,
dopamine.
that chemical that makes dopamine.
But you was prideful in your flesh that you was a part of all that, huh? Prideful. You just arrogant.
Oh yeah. I'm over the pastor care committee. How dare you come and try to take over? Oh yeah, and they would say, oh, missionary Trudy, but I never got the title. They never gave me a certificate. But people would just be saying, oh, missionary, and I started knowing everybody that was actually getting the certificates and they were getting their things, they became more snobbish.
Yeah.
which is that pride.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad I can truly say that with Yahusha, it's more of humbling, it's
Mm-hmm.
more of receiving of truth, it's more of sacrifice, and it
Yeah.
ain't easy. Christianity, I think, is a lot more easier because as long as you go to church on Sunday, you bump, jump, roll, holler, spit, whatever, and you saved and sanctified. You got that appearance, but all of this is just a smoke screen because we still go home broken.
You still go home broken because
But not with Yahusha.
Yeah, yeah. It's different. Shalom, Aki
Right.
Isaac. Glad to see you this morning, man. Joining us. We're talking about, recognizing pride-driven traps and the many things that could bring us into an area of pride. Things that you don't even think that can. I mean, especially if you're looking for a validation anywhere besides Yahuwah, that can bring you into pride. A lot of things, because like I was saying, I see your hand, I see your fingers, Lucretia. Just like I was saying, we're coming from brokenness. Many of us are still broken, severely broken, but we are really good at what we are really good at is covering our pain. A lot of times we learn how to manage it and work through and still grow numerically, but not necessarily, what's the word I'm looking for? Not necessarily, knowing about ourselves. We know how to cover up some stuff, and still, even though we think that we're okay, but we are actually wounded deep inside. We are wounded deep inside because of what has happened. And once we begin to get over that, or we look for false painkillers, so if I can say it like that, we look for false painkillers. Stuff that we can associate ourselves with, people that we can associate ourselves with, even when people say certain things, or I can, like I said before, even if I can accomplish something, because no one thought anything of me, no one thought anything of me, and so when I began to overcome in areas, Isaac, that stuff is a sure, if you're not careful, that stuff is a sure way that pride will take over your life.
Mm-hmm.
If you're following me, go ahead, Lucretia. I had saw your hand. I want to get you for you.
When Sister Trudy was talking just a minute ago, something clicked in my mind about titles. So, and people want to be above somebody else. So, like in the workforce, you got different titles, you got different things to put in place because they want the structure of the business to, have a good flow.
Now listen to this, Lucretia, and I'm not cutting you off. I'm gonna let you go with that, but you clicked something in me when you said just like titles, and I know you probably talking about a corporate perspective, a physical corporate perspective.
It could be any perspective, though.
Yeah, especially spiritual. And see that we're gonna get into that stuff there at another time, because this is why it was given to you. Oh, the apostle, or the prophet, or the evangelist, the pastor, the teacher. The enemy knew what to give us in terms of titles to really clock us up. You know what I mean? Because all that falls under one certain call, but he'll split it up. So he'll have Isaac, give Isaac the title of apostle and all that kind of stuff. He'll give Alex the title of pastor and all that kind of stuff, and another one the title of the prophet, because he knew what would drive us. He knew after you've been beat down, because he was going to beat us down. So I would just give them something now to plant my pride in them even farther, something that they can glory in. So them titles, what you talking about? But go ahead on.
Yeah. So that's a driven pride too. And we go to school. We want to be the RN. Then we want to be the BSN. So you got things, which is okay for you to look forward to something. You want to make yourself better. But where I'm working at now, it seems like when you get a position above, the housekeeping, you don't treat the housekeeping like as if you were engaging the angel. And then at one point, that right there is going to kick you, going to kick you down. You're going to listen. I know that things are set in place for everything to run smoothly, but don't get in a position where you think you better than somebody.
Yeah.
You can't do that, because the Most High will bring you back to their level.
Yeah.
So
and we are quick to fly off like that too. Just like I've mentioned before, we'll buy a brand new car if we can ever get to that place to buy that, and we'll just cruise through the hood. We ain't going nowhere but through the hoods, because we want people to be jealous of it, and that'll kick your pride up too. Because you think that you're better. We will do that as a people. We have done that as a people. Do y'all think I'm just talking? You think I'm just talking? Most times, even our dress, we would dress in a certain way. You say, well, this is just me. Well, you have to check yourself. We're talking about recognizing pride-driven traps. And you may think that that's just you like to dress this way and this here and that. And it might be just you, but still, what is your motive for doing it this day, the next day, or whatever other days? And we'll do that just to go around people to tell us, oh, you look so nice and stuff. You look nice before you left the house, but you got to have somebody to tell you that. You see, why? Going back to that beat down, that low self-esteem, that way that, I can even remember when I was a kid, sometimes I was a kid, I don't know about y'all, but we grew up poor. And you have to watch this stuff too, because it could create some pride in you once you grow to a certain age and you begin to accomplish or get that which you didn't get when you was younger. I can remember, and everybody want to be loved. And I could even remember, I think I was around, you especially among black families, your family. Sometimes the mother and your father wouldn't say that they love you, but you know that they love you. They couldn't say it. Anybody grew up in a household like that? Some of y'all grew up in a household where maybe your family told you, your parents, daddy, and mama told you, I love you, son, I love your daughter, and this and that. But we was never told that. But we knew that they loved us. But we still needed that affirmation. We didn't know it then. Many black families need some serious counseling today, because we got trauma on top of it. But anyway, let me stay with this right here. And I'm letting you into my life. Even when I was a child, you grow up in these families, and like I say, that they love you, but sometimes that child need to hear that. And I can remember my stepfather, because I had him until I was age 15. And I would just, he would get up and go to work, and my dear, she would still be, sleep or whatever. And I remember one morning just laying, because I didn't have my biological father now. I remember one morning that I purposely, how old I was, maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I would purposely just lay out halfway of the bed, like you finna fall out on the floor, because he had to walk by me. They had to walk by me, and just hoping to be noticed. Pick me up and put me back in the bed, and I'll just walk right on through. You see what I mean? And see, and when you've been bored of that kind of stuff, and then you grow up, and then people, that could even be a pride-driven trap that we don't even recognize, because things that you were denied in the past. Most folks don't want to talk about this here kind of stuff. Why? Because you run with Becky now. If you're following me, you understand me? Even that is a pride-driven trap for you. You won't even talk about it among melanated Lucretia or melanated, because you run with Becky now, and I have what this is my validation. Hogwash. You're sick and you're sore. That's what we call sin sickness. Sin sickness. You see. So we have to be careful of those things. Anything that will cause pride in us. You don't give the Hashatan a bite of your sandwich. You understand me? Because he wants the whole sandwich then. And he'll find some kind of way to manipulate it out. I see your hands, so y'all go ahead. And we're going to get into scripture in a minute, but go ahead.
Okay, yeah, you just reminded me of something, since we were talking about us growing up poor. I remember, like, I was in the military. I started just after I finished I graduated, and I went off to the military. Um, we were so poor. I remember there was this 1 month, that uh, they were just depending on me getting paid,
Yeah.
and then I sent the money. But anyway, that can also be a pride-driven trap, because now you are a breadwinner. Everybody's looking on you. You understand? And then it'll turn out that I might get to a big head that at the end of the day, I maybe, how can I put this? Throw it in their faces or something like that, because I'm getting prideful now. It's like me, it's just me. You know what I mean? I want recognition. When I do something, it's all about me, you know, because of the situation, you're not used to having money, and now you are the breadwinner. Nobody had money. Everybody's depending on you. So that is also a trap that poverty, can I also say, it's also a trap that Hashatan uses. And then when you get the money, now he makes you prideful, or he uses you to be prideful. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Of course.
Yeah, but it just made me think of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we have a lot to look out for if we're going to recognize this stuff and keep ourselves protected from him in that area, in that area. Man, I tell you, I tell you, us as our people, we can focus in on the hurt, the shame and stuff that we have experienced, but we also have to focus in on the traps that could come into our lives because of those experiences. If that makes any sense to you, because of those experiences, so we got to be careful, man, of this stuff. Let's get into if no one else have anything. Let me read one of these comments. And let me put this comment up here if y'all can see this comment. Baby girl, thank you for this here comment. Thank you for this comment. Look what she said right here. She said, I felt that way about my father as a little girl. He never told me he loved me until he was drunk. That's the only time he could, because we was made ashamed of stuff. There are certain things we couldn't say in the black family because it just wasn't prevalent out there. And then some families, some black, that just shows you how far they tore us apart. But I was never told by my father or even my stepfather, that he loved me. We was never told that. We was never told that. But I knew that I knew that my biological father loved me. That's just how we was raised. That's just how we was raised, how we was treated, how we was done, through, slavery. I see your hands, Sister Trudy. Through slavery, colonization, and all those things. A lot of things happen to us. So we have to protect ourselves from these traps that would come about. We have to protect ourselves. We have to recognize them. Go ahead, Sister Trudy. I think you Lucretia, if you're talking to us, I think you muted. Lucretia.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if you was talking to us, you was muted, but Sister Trudy had her hand up first before.
Yeah, Sister Trudy, I was just praising y'all. I'm listening.
You okay, gotcha. Go ahead, Sister Trudy.
Yes, you're right. When my mother, she wasn't very emotionally there.
Yeah.
And with the dementia, I got a lot more insight on her life as what the condition was. And my mom's now 87, and they went through a lot of. They weren't allowed to smile a lot of the times. They weren't allowed to be happy.
Right.
Like they would get, so if my grandmother was going through that and my great grandmother was a slave, and everybody's slaves.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have times that they could really be joyful unless the master left and if the
Mm-hmm.
overseer was there. You should be working while you're laughing. They would beat them. So that was beaten out of them. The compassion, the love was there, but that compassion and emotional attachment, you really couldn't have it then because your child could be stolen, your child could be, sold,
Mm-hmm.
your child could. So I kind of understood that, um, they have other ways to show you
Mm-hmm.
that they love you and that they care. So as me as a mother, I made it an effort to always tell my kids,
Mm-hmm.
I love you.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I see you, I hear you. At nighttime, I make sure I tell them, going down the hallway, I love you guys. Good night.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been so battered
Mm-hmm.
emotionally, um, so that we wouldn't care for each other.
Right.
And then and that's part of the curse of disobedience.
Yeah.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's very strong in our communities, um, not just the Black community, Yasharel, the tribes community.
Mm-hmm.
It's there. It's the mothers don't hug their daughters.
Mm-hmm.
The fathers, the men have now been taught that showing emotions is soft,
And weak. Yeah.
um, weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you're not a man if you
Yeah.
cry.
Right.
You're not a man if you have compassion. You're not.
Mm-hmm.
They call it tender. Oh,
Yeah.
you're a tender man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Deuteronomy it
Oh,
says
you're a
that we won't
punk.
be tender towards each other. Yeah, you're a punk. You a
Yeah.
sissy. You're soft.
Mm-hmm.
But a real man, Yahuwah put emotions in us, but Hashatan has tricked us not to use our emotions. So we
Yeah.
can go out there and kill our brother
Right.
or our sister without any emotion,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what Hashatan has done to us.
Yeah.
But until we realize, even as women, we can't tell a man, "Oh, you weak because you crying."
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, you a pansy. You ain't nothing. You ain't no man. My father always said a man cries. But
Right.
now I'm gonna be honest, when you see a man show their emotions,
Mm-hmm.
that's something that you got to be ready for.
Come on. Mm-hmm.
Because a man cry ain't like a woman cry.
Mm-hmm.
It will break you down. The first
Yeah.
time I saw my father cry, I know he cried when my grandmother passed, but I don't really remember. But when his older brother passed away,
Mm-hmm.
to hear my daddy shed tears and hear that cry from the gut,
Yeah.
you got to be ready for that,
Man, yeah. Yeah.
because that's a pain that of every emotion that they
Yeah.
have, and it makes a woman draw to that man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Women, we have to stop and we have to teach our daughters it's okay for a man to cry.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect for a man to be gentle if he doesn't show his emotions.
Right. You got to teach them daughters it's okay for a man to cry. Don't mean he a punk.
That's right. It means he's a real man.
Yeah, he's a real one, and he feel and he loves. You know what I mean? And I'm speaking from experience now, because I'm emotional. I can get emotional. I can. I try to hold it back a little bit now because I have to deal with y'all knuckleheads. No, I'm just cutting down. I'm just talking. Y'all know. Hold on. I see your hands, little creature. Hold on. Let me get this out of me first. I tell people all the time, I'm the lion and the lamb, just like Yahusha, the lion and the lamb. The lamb sometimes will cry. I'm telling you, and you see less of that. Y'all see most of the lion today. I guess because we're so done hard head too. So you see most of the lion today. But I'm telling you, I love our people. I love us. It's not everything that I know what you go through and stuff, but Yahuwah let me feel a lot of stuff what our people go through and what they feel, and that's when you'll see more of the lion, the lamb in me. And but go ahead, Lucretia. But before you go, let me because I've seen this this comment that Yodi put up here, and it goes with what we're dealing with. If y'all can see this comment right here. She said trauma can be passed on. This is exactly what we were saying. Trauma can be passed on it leaves a genetic marker. So what they did to our ancestors still affect us today. And she articulated that pretty well, because that's what I've been trying to say. And it's still there. It is still there. So we have a lot of things to still be careful of in coming up out of our pain. We take tranquilizer sometimes, spiritual tranquilizer. We take fake pain medication, and I'm contributing all this to spiritual now. Things that we think would help us, things that we associate ourselves with. Things and people, because we've been told that we're ugly, so we associate ourselves with things and people to make us feel beautiful to ourselves, and you don't have to do that, because it'll create something in you worse than what you're trying to get over, and it'll make you do your brother and your sister and your the family wrong, and you'll think that you're more than the family, because we're seeking the wrong type of remedy, you know. And we just have to believe what Yahuwah have said to us as a people coming out of all these traumas and pains and stuff that's been a part of our lives ever since we've been in the world. We have to believe what Yahushua said, what Yahuwah said. You are the apple of my eye. And that's what we all are to him. We are the apple of his eye. Go ahead, Lucretia. You muted.
Okay. Sister Trudy be hitting on some stuff. I be over here in my praise bag, right? Because I understand where she's coming from. So when you say that you know, sometimes, like a couple weeks ago, how I broke down, it wasn't because of that situation. It was the fact that some things were coming from you towards me, right? And I plowed over, I asked forgiveness for the things that I did in pride and things like that. And it comes from somebody teaching us this that was not supposed to be teaching us stuff. So it's embedded. Just like you said, you got to, like lymph flow, it's levels to this. It's levels to shake off what has been taught to you in Christianity, right? And so it's also levels to everything that was been taught, everything that was that drives us to pride has been taught to us. And so, you know, when we are being rebuked by the word because we are a covenant people, sometimes that stuff hurts. It hurts. And you feel like, you know, somebody did this to me. It was taught to me. It's not my fault. Why I got to go, you know, through this. And it's because you got to get back to that place where Yahuwah has once, you know, seen us. So it's good to know these things so that you can be able to, trauma is going to be there. Pain is going to be there. How do you deal with that? Right now, how do we deal with that? Because me with my boys, they are men that I can look at and tell that you got some pain somewhere, but you don't want to talk about it. My oldest son, he will hold his tears in. I would have to just really talk to him until something hits and he will break down. And not that I want him to cry, but I want him to feel what he's feeling. Because if you don't feel it, you can't correct it, right?
And that has to be a
I
release.
need him to feel what he's feeling. And it's okay to feel what you're feeling.
Yeah, and it is okay to express it, you know. But y'all guys got to understand a man sometimes, you know, you have to be in a certain place or a certain level of that place for us to begin to really express. And then there's some men that can express easily of what they're going through, you know. I used to be that man that could express easily, you know. But, you know, because of the battlefield have hardened me a little bit now. The battlefield, the spiritual battlefield have hardened me a little bit, and I can't go around the way I feel now. I can't go around leaking tears everywhere while the enemy is watching. No,
No,
that's the way I
but I want
feel.
to be, I want to be
Hmm.
his comfort where he could just lay in my arms
I
and
got you.
just let that out, right?
Yeah,
Like, I'm not here to harm you. I'm not here to
yeah.
hurt you. I know we've been through some stuff. They've
Hmm.
been through some stuff. I may have put them through some stuff,
Yeah,
but I'm still here as your mom, as an open arm. I want you to be able to lay in my arms and tell me your pain, because by the time you get out of my arms,
yeah.
you're going to be okay.
Now,
Because, like you said, the woman is supposed to cover that man,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Let me say
I'm
this here
going
to
to
you.
cover you.
You said something that y'all really needed to have heard, because uh, we have a problem confessing our sins. We have a problem, just like what you said. I may have put him through something. You follow me? See, when we are
Yeah.
not in that area of really truly loving Yahuwah, really truly loving. Let me see. Okay. Really loving Yahuwah, there are certain things we're not going to say, certain things that we're not going to express. We'll continue to hide, as though we are perfect across the board, and we are not. We are not. We have to confess some things, and by us knowing that we are not perfect, because no one is. We love to use that expression when we're trying to get people off us on some stuff. Why not recognize that expression? Why not recognize that when you know you're wrong and then done wrong? Why
Yeah.
not, instead of trying to put yourself up high, confess it. Confess it. And I'm telling you, Yahuwah will make you free then. But a lot of us won't even admit that. I mean, I know mothers. Because of the way they were, their sons are gay today, but won't confess that for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You won't confess how you raised that boy. You will not confess it. You look, y'all single mothers and stuff. Let me say this here. Boy, we just be from one end to the other on these programs, don't it? But it just comes up. Y'all single mothers and stuff, and they ain't got no father in the home, and with this boy and stuff like that. You don't walk around with your underwear on and naked and all that kind of stuff in front of that boy. You don't know what they're doing to that boy. That's feminizing that boy. I'm telling you, that'll make him hate a woman because he see his mama doing that. And so he begins to hate that female, and he'll turn to males. And now you might not understand this kind of stuff. You can't do that in front of no boy. And ain't nobody live in the house but you and him and stuff and this here and that. And man, come on. You hear
become
this now?
curious too.
Huh?
Yeah. They also will become kids. They ain't necessarily got to be you building them to be a gay man, but you putting them in positions where it's a lot of things maybe going through their mind. They see stuff they ain't supposed to be seeing.
Know, and it's not your purpose that you're building them up to be a gay man, but that's what you're doing. That's what I'm talking about, of what you're doing that you are not even know. I'm telling you. This boy,
I was guilty of that.
This boy cannot.
Up until I got corrected.
You cannot. Yeah. You cannot walk around. I see your hand, Sister Trudy. You cannot walk around that house, woman, mama, and your boy there, and you walk around that house like you there by yourself. I'm telling you,
that's
it
true.
Will cause. That's
true.
That's unhealthy. That's unhealthy. Yeah. Now, if his daddy was there, his daddy can walk around the house all day long, naked, all of it hanging out and everything. That's just teaching that boy to be a man. He see what a man is, But y'all, and he's under that young age, you cannot do that as a woman. You cannot do that. I'm telling you now, I'm not talking about something that I think. I'm talking about things that I know. I've seen it, and so what it'll start with, but you got to cut this stuff off. He'll certainly try to walk around the house with your shoes on.
Mm-hmm.
Watch this stuff. Don't laugh at this crap, because that evil rock is trying to move in. He'll certainly be in the mirror. When a child needs to be out there playing in the dirt somewhere, but he'll be trying to be in the mirror because he see mama. You feminizing that boy. Y'all listen at me now. Please listen to me. And it'll just be by the grace of Yahuwah twice over. if you done that kind of stuff in front of that male boy, that boy, and he's still straight. But I'm telling you what Ruach is out to get him when mama do that stuff and daddy ain't there. This is what we get. See, we do stuff unconsciously. That's the reason, even with this pride. Thank you, Isaac. That even with this pride that we have, that can be. We have to recognize the pride that we have. We have to recognize that stuff, these traps that the enemy set to cause his pride to be erased in us, to arise in us. We don't always know. So we continue with this kind of crap, and the pride just growing, growing, growing. You can continue to be naked and just come out the house with just your panties on, and come out the room just with your panties on, your bra, and your son sitting there and stuff, and you don't think nothing of it. That gay demon is planting himself and growing, because that's unnatural to a little male boy to see a woman's body like that. And you'll think that he will grow up to, I love women. No, he'll grow up to hate them. It's the very opposite. But the enemy will let you think that, okay, he going to grow up and be a man because he done seen a woman body. No, you're making that boy hate a female body, and he'll be drawn to the male body. You don't know that. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you what's up. What's happening? Go ahead, Sister Trudy, before you forget. And before I forget to call you.
Because you know I will. I agree with you. With my first, when they got to a certain age, you don't let them get in the tub with you. You don't let them, you don't walk around the house a certain way. You present yourself. I remember my dad, like, he would not have his shirt on, my father, but he always had on bottoms, or he always had a shirt to cover, like button itself up real quick. But it's just, you're exposing your children. Like, I remember R. Kelly made a statement. His mom, that's how she was. And he became so infatuated. He said that she picked up a coffee mug and it left her lip prints on it. He went back just to put his lips on her lip print. So we have to be careful, because we may not understand it, but at a certain age, that has to stop. As we breastfeed our children. At a certain age, you can tell when you need to stop, especially a boy. You can tell, because your body will react to it. It's time for you to get off the nigga.
I seen a clip one time, a white woman breastfeed her son, that boy 5 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy. She's doing that for the excitement of herself.
Hey, you said that.
I mean, even now, I haven't breastfed in over, my son's youngest is about to be 6, about to be 6'15", and the side that I breastfed on, I don't want to be touched there, because it's a strange feeling. You know what I'm saying? But after a certain time, it's a cutoff point. You shouldn't be walking around with your bra and your panties on.
Yeah.
Have a robe on, make sure, because it triggers something in them. Even letting your little boys walk around, like you said, with the high heel shoes on. And, oh, girl, he's so funny. Oh, girl, he know how to grind. And that stuff is crazy. And even with it's vice versa with the girls. I tell my daughter all the time, you have brothers.
Yeah.
You can't walk out any kind of way.
Right.
You have brothers.
Yeah.
And my father told me the same thing. You're a little missy now, so you can't walk around any kind of way, because they're still male.
Now, especially can't walk around your brothers at the age they are now. That ain't gonna make them be no gay, but that'll put some bad thoughts in their mind. About women, and even a little bit of what you call it, what you call that? Incest. You know what I mean? At the
but
age,
you know what? They'll do it. They'll walk around with their brothers. They'll be, oh, you can come in. I'm in the shower. You can come on in.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
We ain't never been boundaries,
people, but we have never been people that does that kind of stuff. No, man. No. Hey.
But they do it. They sure do it. They'll go lay in the bed with their sister like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, man. They'll do it.
But we don't. That's not. But we can't.
That was never of us.
Yeah, but R. Kelly, he definitely. he was infatuated. It becomes infatuation with the mother. You know, you can't take it there with your mother because that's your mother. So now you become so promiscuous, it becomes a sickening. And he's cried out for help.
Yeah.
Like I literally remember seeing him on a awards show, and he was telling the people, the Christians, to help me, pray for me. I need y'all to pray for me. They wasn't taking it. That he entertaining. They wasn't taking it for that. That man been crying out.
He was
for help,
crying out,
but he had crying out, but nobody was there. Even another guy, he sings a song called "Make Me Over Again." He was crying out because of homosexuality.
Right.
Nobody helped him.
But we don't hear.
And guess what?
He's crying out, and I can't think of that guy's name. You know. Of course, it was Lord, Make Me Over Again, and all that kind of stuff. Beautiful song. Again. But guess what we're doing? Instead of us listening with our religious self, we wanted it for ourselves.
Yep, and he was literally saying, I need to be made over. I'm not good. And nobody, I need deliverance. That's what he was saying in the it was at the Stellar Awards. And nobody heard him. Instead, he coming out with the Janet Jackson hairstyle.
Yeah, man. All that kind of stuff. You know, but hey, I know we can kind of go. I know we have kind of shifted a little bit, but y'all expect that from us. You know, don't be like these white folks. Well, they ain't talking on the topic. Wrong platform, because we shift. We go where we need it. We go where we feel that Yahuwah is pointing us, because everybody ain't got this problem that we are talking about today. And, you know, all of us don't have this problem, you know, of low self-esteem. Not everybody in the tribes. Some of them might have some other problems. So that's where you need to be patient at and learn a little something. Okay, let them minister to that person's problem, and they'll come back to mine, and perhaps as if I have this one. That's where we need to think a lot of times. You know, we ain't got to be like these. And I ain't going to get on these white folk this morning. I'm not going to get on this morning. You don't have to be like that, you know, because we are messed up in multiple areas. So let us cover it every time we come on.
Praise Yahweh.
Many of them. We need help in multiple areas. So be all right with that. But I don't know. Some of us are so westernized now and Gentiled up. We just think like them, and you won't even hear what I'm even saying now. You don't care what Sister Trudy went through because you just only looking at you. You don't care what she needs because you only looking at you. That's a Gentile way. We've been given an agape way to love. Let not every man look on his own things, but every man look on or be concerned about his brother or what he's going through. Don't so much be concerned about you, but be concerned about your sister. Thank you, baby girl. Baby girl said that go ahead. I always learn something new when I join, you know, but it's all good. We messed up in a multitude of areas, So you'll be all right if we leaving that. We're talking about a strand of hair pulled out your head, you know, and that's our topic today. But now we move down to one of your toes been cut off. Be all right. Let us minister to this one here about that got 9 toes now, you know. And then we'll come back to your hair got pulled out your head, you know. Who hand was up? Somebody's was. Sister Judy, go ahead. And anyway, you don't tell me how to order my ministry. I already got that from your I've been doing it like this ever since I've been ministering. I'm telling you. When did Yahusha say that? Okay, the title of this message is gonna be today, Black Feet. And then, but I got 5 points that I want to bring to you. When did Yahusha come off with stuff like that and then stick to the topic? You go and you read the so-called Sermon on the Mount. He covering a lot of stuff. You see what I'm saying? He ain't sticking to no one thing here.
Which way? Whichever way.
Come on. And our people don't know how to do that because we done got that from these YT preachers and all this kind of stuff that ain't never ever had to even call the preacher to who, huh? I mean, but anyway, that's where we have gotten it from. And unless you got a 3-point sermon, Isaac, and stay on topic, I ain't want to listen to you. That's the attitude that we have. when Yahushua was all over the place. At one place, he was busy telling folk, your father is the devil. Is anybody feeling me what I'm saying? He ain't never had no 3-point sermon. He ain't never went to no homiletic school. And you got to keep it, homiletics and all that kind of stuff right there. Like we're gonna preach today about pressure, pain, and prestige. It got to be the 3 P's. You see what? Pressure, pain, and prestige. Get away from me with that. Get away from me for that. See, that's style preaching. We don't know that kind of stuff, but our flesh love it. That's style preaching. It's not substance.
Call and command preaching.
Yeah, man. It's all
and read.
Like, when they do that, that's like an adrenaline shot.
That's all what it is. And that person that is doing that is filled with pride. You understand me? They didn't recognize that pride-driven trap that was fixing to come from what they call it? The cemetery. The seminary. They didn't realize that seminary was a pride-driven trap. They didn't realize that. They didn't realize that. So that's the way it is. Who had their hand up? Somebody was fixing to say something. Sister Trudy, go ahead.
When now we can't leave out these women who now want to be a man. They so backwards and slow. They don't understand when they say I'm a stud. You cannot be a stud because you can't get nothing pregnant. A stud is a male that they use to create life. Life don't enter into our bodies until a man enters into us. So how are you a stud? Y'all got to stop this. And then, you can love the person, but their actions, Yahuwah does not like our actions, but he loves us.
Yeah.
Now don't make them turn into rap, but they went, and then you let your daughters,
that far.
dressing like a dude and pulling up their crotch like they got something there. Like, you can see it. And a lot of it comes from pain. Sexual, they've been sexually abused, and now they are running to the same thing that hurt them. Or they become very promiscuous. It's the same exact thing. And we have to stop. I'm not going to say we. Other women out there has to stop also allowing their daughters, because, hands on your knees. Oh, girl, look, she can twerk that thing, honey. Look at her popping. Like what? You're prostituting your daughters and don't even realize you're turning them into tricks, side pieces, or women who are so confused they think that they are a dude.
Yeah. They think that they are.
And that's mental, emotional abuse. I'll never forget, I was at a birthday party. And the baby was turning.
In the direction you want the ball to go.
Hey, Shakia, are you talking to us or are you talking to somebody else? Mute us.
I'm listening to y'all.
Okay, but you're talking to someone.
Sister Trudy was talking about twerking that thing and all that type of stuff.
That ain't what I'm talking about. You're talking to somebody in the room. Then mute when you're doing that. You know what I mean? Because we don't know. Because we can hear it just like you talking to us. We can hear that. So that's kind of like disturbing. But go ahead, Sister Trudy.
Even, I'll never forget, I was at an individual's child's birthday party when I did not know that was not right. And the baby was twerking on the little basketball pole. And they, get it, baby. I ain't going to say their name. But get it. You see my baby. And the person that I was with made a statement. The sad thing about it, that child could be a lawyer. She could be a doctor. But that spirit of being a stripper is going to fall on her. And that person is no longer here on this earth that said that. But that child wound up becoming a stripper.
A stripper. Our words have
Listen,
power.
I said I'm not saying no names, and you in the background talking.
All right, now listen to this here.
You ain't saying no names, baby.
That's Scotty. Scotty, bring your big self on here. So you come on, hit yourself.
Look, Pastor said, bring your big self on here.
But listen, let me go into this scripture right here.
Come on over here.
Let me go into this scripture right here. Because everything, we have to watch for pride in every area. Show enough in this modern age, your education. Are y'all following me? Or your knowing of things could push you into an area of pride because you're not recognizing that this is dry. What's up, Aki? I hear you trying to correct her over there.
What's up? So I'm at the listen on what's on TV.
I hear you, Aki. It's all good. It sounds like what, Lucretia?
No, he said I'm locked in.
Okay, gotcha.
He watching on TV.
Gotcha, man.
I'm on YouTube.
You on YouTube?
Yeah, on YouTube.
All right, I appreciate that. Leave your like button. Hit your like button.
Leave your like.
Hey, she giving you any trouble, Aki?
Am I giving you any trouble?
Okay.
So I know how to ignore.
You know how
he know how to ignore.
Got another gift.
No, you don't ignore. You
Don't ignore me.
No, I don't ignore like that. But
I finna give you some advice, but it'll finna be the wrong advice. So I'm
gonna call you.
Everybody, all right, you call me. I'm finna give you some advice on how to handle it, but it'll be the wrong advice. And everyone don't have a sense of humor. I know we don't. We gotta act like it when you're in the presence of someone that has a sense of humor, but really getting on your nerve. I know I get on some of y'all nerves. I know when I get to cutting up and laughing because you think you too done. You too done. Smithy to smile.
Say it, Sister Sue. What you laughing for?
Highly people that's highly just like someone country might say, and this ain't all country folk, people that's highly educated, they can't come down and have no fun because they think they up there and this here and that. So when I get to cutting up and all this kind of stuff, it's just unappealing to them. This show ain't for you. That's all I got to say.
That's
it ain't
right.
for you. You too high. You pride driven, and you don't even know it. You're pride driven. So hey, go to and listen to one of Donald Trump's jokes. Now that'll hit him.
Oh my!
They'll sit there and laugh, and he's sitting there doing this. You know how he be trying to dance, and they ain't nothing funny about that to us. A lot
No.
that go over our head, but that's what you love, and all this little high class joke. Some of us are those kind of people. Why? Because of our trauma on the inside. But when I get to cutting up, when we get to
find the
cutting up,
grandma page.
yeah, man, yeah. I mean, you got Yahuwah. Yahuwah has all kinds of people for all kinds of people. Don't matter where you at. If Trump and JD Advance joke are laughable to you, hey, so be it. That's right, okay, Isaac. He just shared the message. He didn't say that, but I'm finna say what he said. He said they so Hollywood.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get back in the real thing right here. So let me. If you have your scriptures, you go with me to that first book of Adam and Eve. I'm gonna show you something. Because remember we started out talking about beauty at first, right? Now you look at this right here. You might know this and you might not. Now, I know y'all can see my screen, and I'm reading this here out of y'all scriptures right here. It says this. It says, then Adam and Hawa, and I don't know if that's Eve Hebrew name because I know ain't no W's in Paleo Hebrew, so we'll just say that. And that's another thing. Let me say this right here. Let me just go back here, and before I read these scriptures, y'all listen to me. Just let you know how, I don't care how high that we think we are. This lets you know that we need to reconsider things. We need to draw closer to Yahuwah because we call him everything, You know, and like I say, you got these people that's so highly knowledgeable of what's going on. They know the markers where the land's supposed to be, and they having this here and that, but they still say God, Jesus, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, all this kind of stuff. What's up with all of that? So this kind of stuff still lets us know that we need to humble ourselves. I mean, we are more confused than when we was in Christianity. Seems like to me. But we are not allowed to tell you that because you know 45 scriptures. We're not allowed to tell you that without you taking offense because you know 45 scriptures. And you loud. So we ain't allowed to tell you, but we're supposed to look at you as some kind of theologian or scholar. Hell no. All of us.
That's pride.
It's the very epitome of pride. It's the very epitome of pride because you count on your not. Man, come on. When you size yourself up against Aki, Alex, Isaac, or even Shaquille, if you size yourself up against me, you're gonna always think that you're higher. We're supposed to size ourselves up against Yahusha, and then you will always find room for improvement. You will always be lacking, you know. You know, even Shaul said that. You know, one of the people's sin was that you always comparing yourselves by yourselves. So it created a surmountable amount of pride in these people because as long as I'm sizing myself or comparing myself to Brother Isaac, hey, I'm always going to feel superior to Brother Isaac or vice versa. Yahusha is the measuring stick. And if you measure yourself up against him, you're always going to find yourself lacking. This causes pride in us too, because you know fifth of scripture, and I might know what too. Are y'all following me? So let me read this here. Let me read this to you. Let me get over here. All right, y'all look at this screen here. It says, then Adam and Hawa or Eve came out. They came out at the mouth of the cave and went toward the garden. But as they went near the western gate, from which Satan came, when he deceived Adam and Hawa or Eve, it says they found the serpent that became Satan coming at the gate, and it was sorrowful, licking the dust. Repeat that again. And it was sorrowfully licking the dust. Why it says that? And wiggling on his breast on the ground because of the curse that fell on it from Alua. This serpent was in bad shape, stating that he wasn't in this shape at first, and you're going to see this right here. Okay, now it says this in verse 3. It says, before the curse, the serpent was the most exalted of all beasts. You can kind of get now why Satan chose him, don't you? To work through. Because if he was the most exalted of all beasts, he might have had a way about him. Are y'all following me? Because you can look into your own lives and see if this is so. Before the curse of the serpent, he was the most exalted of beasts. Now it was changed and become slippery. Now it was changed and now it then became slippery and the meanest of them all. And it crept on its breast and went on its belly. Why is he mean now? Because he been put down. He was the most exalted of all beasts at first. I'm still talking about pride here. And
This
pride
goes
here.
to show.
Go ahead, sis. And I'll read some more.
I'm saying it just goes to show you are nothing if you have something.
Come on. You're still nothing. Verse 4 says, before the curse, it was the fairest of all beasts. You talking about some beauty. That go for all y'all that think y'all look better than the next person out there. You see. And that's what you're going on is your beauty, you know. pride it could be a trap as you're focused on your beauty. I didn't say, because y'all love to have selective hearing sometimes. I did not say that don't take care of yourself and all this. I ain't say it. What he want for us not to take care of ourselves and the people. Now, did I say that? Or am I telling you don't be focused on how beautiful you are? I ain't. If that's what drives you and think you more than other people, that's what I'm dealing with here. Because we can have selective hearing, especially when we are not in a place to receive a foundational truth and trying to teach you about something. I even had people tell me,
Right.
I don't want to know nothing about Satan. Teach us about Jesus. Well, that's who fighting against you, Satan. Yahusha ain't fighting against you. He's fighting for you. But if you don't know your enemy and his MO and stuff, how you going to fight him with your religious Christian self?
Right. That part.
But it says, before it was the fairest of all beasts in number 4. It had been changed and became the most ugly of them all. Your physical beauty, you might be pretty on the outside, but as soon as you start steering your neck, you look like this damn snake. You're acting like it. Are y'all following me? Now, I ain't seen but 2 kind of people do that. And that's a woman and a gay man.
Well, that's a disgusting sight right there, boy. If I ever seen
Come
one.
on, Shaquille. Come on, Shaquille. All right, now look at here now. We're just talking about it now. When you think you something, it became the most ugly of them all. Instead of feeding on the best food, he lived high on the hog, so we speak. Oh, man, this thing was just awesome. Had the best life. Now it turned to eat dust. Instead of living as before in the best places, now it lived in the dust. Y'all look at what this is talking about now, because if you think that you're exalted and you higher than other people, I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen to you. I don't care who you think you are. I don't care who you think you are. Don't make me call no names, but I don't care who you think you are. Your tail is getting ready to come down. Do you want to be made low like this? When the scripture tells us to be lowly in mind, even Yahusha made of himself of no reputation, but he humbled himself. He became equal to human flesh. He became equal to us. He didn't make no reputation of himself. And guess what? He knew everything, but you couldn't tell it. Why? Because it didn't show in his persona. He didn't have an attitude with it. He didn't have that way. I got mine, so you're going to have to get yours.
Yeah.
You see. And we often go this because we are not recognizing the pride-driven traps. You see. But this thing was exalted, man. It was exalted. Again, verse 5, it says, it had been the most beautiful of all beasts, and all stood speechless at its beauty. We all want that recognition, don't we? We all want it, don't we? We'll learn from this snake. Learn from this snake. I don't even believe that it was called snake in the beginning, or even serpent.
That's serpent. That wicked one.
Not in the beginning, but that name was fitting for that joker after what he became. Snake, serpent. And then guess what? The Bible says that he was the most subtle. He was the most subtle among all the beasts of the field. He was the most smartest, and he knew it. He was the most cunning. A con artist have to be very intelligent to con someone.
Absolutely.
So he's counting on and looking at his intelligence. Pride. Are y'all following me?
Yeah.
Alex saying that he's keep freezing up over there. Is anyone else having that experience on the line?
So Yahoo got her hand up.
And
I mean, her
Gabriel
Baptist
saying
finger.
no. Okay, put let me read this last verse first, so Yahoo, if you don't mind, and then we'll let you we'll answer your little Baptist finger. Okay. Well, it ain't the last verse. I guess what? Before I go on, I'll let you go on. What did I do? Yeah, but go ahead on, sis. Let me take this here down and let you go ahead on. Go on, make your comment, your statement here.
Okay. Not only Yahuwah can see our pride developing,
Mm-hmm.
Hashatan can see it. Because remember, pride started with him.
Yes.
So he knows the signs, the signals and everything. I mean, it's not bad being beautiful. It's not bad having it all. It's not bad knowing things that you are knowing.
Right.
But the problem starts when you think you know it all. When you think you are beautiful. You think you have it all.
And that don't no one else know but you.
Yeah.
No one is more beautiful than you. It's when you got that attitude.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's when you're opening gateways for Hashatan to come in. Because like I said, we all know pride started with him. So he knows, and then he knows how to influence that more for it to develop and for it to actually be really, so that you can fall, so that you can become haughty and so that you can fall.
Yes. Yeah. And you have to always know, I see you, Shakia, and you have to always recognize what Yahuwah have given you. Don't let somebody else microphone, and that's what the Most High have given you, a microphone, but the Most High is giving somebody else a phone. You got me what I mean? Don't let them make you feel bad because they got a microphone, but you got a phone. Are y'all following me? You have that, so they will exalt their microphone to make you feel bad, and you humble, so you're not going to exalt your phone because this phone will do more than that microphone. But they think because of what they know, it accumulates more than what you have. Everybody been given their own separate of what to do, if I can say it like that, in Yahuwah. And nobody is to be exalted above another one. Because guess what? Even 1 Corinthians talks about if you are exalted in this work or you doing this work right here, you ain't going to have a reward for that because one of the reasons you didn't do it lawfully. Another reason, it ain't even for your work to do. You might have been given to just, it's all your call here right here. Because because you're coveting and like the call that Lucretia is doing, Lucretia's call is to read. So you start doing what Lucretia done, and you might be better at it than Lucretia, but you ain't got no damn reward for it in the end. But it's not what you've been told to do. Where's that scripture at? I have to show that scripture. Where's the scripture at? In 1 Corinthians? Is it 1 Corinthians 3? I think it is. Let me put it up in this old King James here.
Yeah, the one that Lendro read yesterday.
Yeah, he read that yesterday? Okay, where is that at? 1 Corinthians?
Not the whole 3, yes. Not the whole chapter, though.
Not the whole chapter. 1 Corinthians 3. And I begin at verse 1? It says, this is what Paul said. I think we dealt with this one day last week or something. But anyway, it says, and I, brethren, let me share my scripture with you. Let me share my screen with you here. And I'll go back to Adam and Eve in a minute. It says, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal or just natural, even as unto babes in Yahusha, in Hamashiach, right? He said, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it. He's telling you because of who you think you are and what you are. It says, neither yet now are ye able. It says, for ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and division, are ye not carnal and walk as men In other words, there's jealousies here. There's jealousies here. And you think that you are so intelligent, but look what you're doing right here. It says, for while one saith, I am of Paul, and another says, I am of Apollos. Are ye not carnal? You want to be associated with things that validate you, or people that validate you. And he says, who then is Paul? Or who is what? I mean, nothing. Who is Apollos but ministers by whom ye believe, even as Yahuwah gave to every man? Man, we could be driven with this pride and stuff that's in our heart, and we don't even know why. We don't even know why, because you have the wrong motive about something. These people was just following Paul, no doubt, in the way he's describing it here because of his eloquence. Now, you remember now, it's just Paul and Apollos that is that Paul is bringing up here using as examples. Why? Because they was of all the disciples, of all the ones that were teaching, Paul and Apollos was the most eloquent. Paul come up under the feet of Gamaliel, and even and Apollos, he was still preaching John's gospel, if you could say it that way, before Aquila and Priscilla came to him and taught him a better way, and they talked about how eloquent he was in his presenting, but he was eloquently wrong. Y'all follow me? So but let me keep reading. I still see you, Shaquille. This is what he said in verse 6. I have planted, and Apollo watered. We got two different things to do, but if we do it faithfully, stay in our own lane, don't be jealous toward no one else, don't be looking for validation of anything, guess what? It's going to accomplish the same goal. These are things we don't realize. So I got to outshine somebody. And then you get on your little platform, perhaps, and you begin to down Lucretia. Why? Because many times we just like these pastors around here. When you ain't doing it but kicking up your leg and say, ain't he all right? Ha. So your some of your people in your particular church begin to get hungry and for more and more Yahushua, and you ain't putting it out. And so now you're gonna go and talk down on Lucretia, because now these folk, it seems like they're listening to her because she's putting out something. Man, we are wrong as two left shoes. Why? Because our pride have driven us to this right here. Okay, let me get Shakia first, Suyahu, and then I will go to you, because I'm not through reading this. But go ahead, Shakia.
Yeah, he was just the proud and gives favor to the humble. So we can't get so caught up in our feelings and our actions and things that think we better than everybody, when in our reality, we all in the same boat, trying to reach the same goal.
We're all in
with
the same boat,
with the same admiration. So we can't just try to get ahead of everybody when we all running the same place.
Yeah, but that's the reason we're talking about recognizing pride-driven traps, because if we don't recognize it, we won't even see that it's there, and we could never come into that place what you just mentioned right now. We won't even know it, because pride is a type of blindness to spiritual progress. Also, you'll be blind to it because you don't. This thing is in you. It's in you if y'all follow me what I'm saying. So I hear exactly what you're saying, and that is right. But we are blind to it because it's been there for so long. And guess what? Men have applauded you and put you up. That is a place to hold you in that pride. Hold you in it and never holding you accountable. Trooper Rocky, who are we?
And that's so crazy. Is people that's things of the world. That's pride, the pride of life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
It is. It is. It's the pride of life. And just like John said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. For all that is in the world, Is the pride of eyes, the pride, all of it is just
Lust of the eyes,
yeah,
lust of the flesh.
the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and it is not of the Father, but is of the world. But that's where most of us dwell. We are preaching Yahuwah, but still have the ruach of this world. Still have the ruach of this world. And if people don't applaud you on and stuff, you can't function then. You got pride. You should be able to function and do what Yahuwah have given you and told you to do without an applaud.
Yeah, nobody don't deserve praise but Allah.
Yeah. I mean, you can tell people that they did good. I mean, I like what you said, but hey, leave it at a minimum because human flesh cannot handle exhortation. Human
It's like
flesh.
Paul, just like Shaul said, you can only like do spiritual to spiritual. If they be carnally minded is death, but be spiritual.
In other words, he said, I can't speak these high things to you because you still struggling with these little old natural things. So I know you're carnal. And a lot of us is out here teaching and preaching and all this kind of stuff, and ain't nothing but novices. We got good memories. A lot of us just got good memories. You hear me what I'm saying? And you can quote this and you can say this right off the top of your mind and you can speak like you got authority and stuff, but you're still a novice. Your attitude, your way shows that. And pride can easily enter into you. Pride can easily enter into you when you like this. We don't know how to watch over ourselves. One thing, and y'all might get upset about it, it ain't this way, but we give off the impression that it's this way. That's the reason the colonizers think we can't govern ourselves. You're showing them that. You're showing them that if you got 2 pennies more than someone else got, you can't handle it without showing off. You can't handle it without just flaunting it over Shaquille. We got to realize what's in us.
We gotta stop flossing.
This serpent, if you could call him that, then didn't realize what was in him until he was tested. And I don't see what the scripture says that Lucifer or Gadriel had to struggle with him to use him. I don't see what Gadriel had to struggle with this snake to get the snake to allow him to use him. Prideful folk.
We saw the pride already.
Yeah. And prideful folk, Satan can use you whenever the hell he get ready. And you don't even realize, and you still think you saying something. You still think you're saying something. Suyahu, you had your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, no wonder Yahuwah never wanted us to know certain things, up until the fallen Malakim came to teach us things that we were not supposed to know. Because as he says that we are stiff-necked, and if you search the meaning of stiff-necked people, the first thing comes up, it says haughty.
Haughty.
Yeah. So Yahuwah knew that we are stiff-necked people. There's certain things that he never wanted us to know, because if we had to know everything that he knows, what was going to be us? Who were we going to be, or what were we going to be?
Come on.
You understand? If this little knowledge that we have right now puffs us up already, what about the knowledge that he, restricts us from having? How are we going to be as a people?
How are we going to be?
So I get it.
We certainly won't be any good for him. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, family. Yahuwah didn't even want you to even know how to write. They just write. That was against him. All that stuff was the Malachim came and talked to people. Yahuwah never wanted them that. Wanted them to know that. Even how to write. That's the reason our people was more orally passing this on. You see? And of course, their minds and memories was good and all that kind of stuff. So they were gonna keep every word in place. But you can change writings and lie. This is what the This is what the Jewish people done. They didn't change all this. Y'all following me? And it be just because of writing. But in the beginning, Yahuwah never wanted that, for us to even learn how to write. And so now we're doing things that the Melachim taught us, and we letting it put pride in us. You got to understand, that tree was the knowledge of good and evil. And you think just because you know something good, you doing something good, you all right and you exalting yourself. That good don't mean nothing. But we'll let pride speak to us. Oh, I'm doing good and this here and that, but it ain't what Yahuwah called you to. It's not what he called you to. We don't think sometimes because we're blinded by our pride. We don't think. There's a lot of things that we've been doing good, but have you been called to it? But we'll just take it up on our little old stiff neck, don't listen, blind self, to think that we will have a reward for it, and Yahuwah is pleased with us. But he didn't call you to do that. You won't have a reward. And let me, and I can finish reading that. Let me just go on down and read some more of that. Hold on here. Look at this here.
Sister Trudy had a hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sister Trudy. Go ahead.
You had said it when the fallen, they taught these things that he did not want us to know.
Yeah.
How to make the armors and swords and the weapons, because he wanted us to solely depend on him.
Yeah.
And that is something that is hard for us to do even now, is to solely depend on him. And it all starts in the mind. I was talking to Scotty about how past relationships, it had me in a poor mindset because of the financial things. And it's like now it's like, oh, I can't do this because financing.
Right.
And that will become a handicap to you. Mm-hmm. And that's what he wants. Hashatan wants to keep us in a panic mode, but prideful. And then we just handicap. We want to go everything that the man says.
Come on, girl.
And we want to do everything that the world tells us to do. And it's so hard to follow him. Mm-hmm. It's hard. No, what it is, it's hard for you to deny yourself.
That's it.
And pride will not allow you to deny yourself.
Yeah, and I think that's why, over in Acts 14 and talks about stuff like that, and it's hard. And then Luke, is it Luke? Is in Matthew 7, what we was talking about yesterday, around 14 verses. Difficult to get into the kingdom of Alua. Of course you're gonna have some withstands from the enemy and stuff, but it's hard for us to shake our own flesh. That probably would make it difficult for us too. It's hard for us to shake off our own flesh, shake off our own arrogance, because I'm telling you, if Canaan, if Babylon done taught us something, it done taught us how to be prideful. That's all we see among these people. It's a lot of pride. A lot of pride. A lot of the only problem that we had, and it's the biggest problem, but and that was stubborn and stiff-neckedness. Just like the scripture says that stubbornness is just like witchcraft. But we won't even say stubbornness is just like witchcraft, or it's cruel as the grave, or something that way, But I promise you, man, we've been working a lot of witchcraft in, because we're stubborn and stiff-necked. Now, it's all right for me to tell you something, or for anyone to tell you something, or teach you something that you don't know, that it really doesn't bother you. You're not operating in that area. But what stubbornness come from, if you're teaching somebody something and they are operating in that area, that's when they're gonna have a problem with you. That's stubbornness. They ain't willing to hear that. That's stubbornness. It is stubbornness to the T. That's just like we're talking about the writing and all this kind of stuff, And it's okay, if you don't love that, if you don't make your living with that, or whatever Babylon offers you to go in that direction, that's okay with you. So you won't have a problem with that. But those Melachim also taught makeup. Uh-oh, what you gonna do with that? What about that? He also taught that. But since you love that and it makes you pretty, and they plan on your little self-esteem because you think you ugly, so I'm gonna put on what they taught me here. What about that? What you gonna do with that? Can you handle that? Well, now you're meddling, Pastor. Now you're meddling. Now ain't nobody meddling. This thing like it is. They also taught that. Jezebel even used that to seduce. Why are you using it? Well, I don't use nothing but a little bit of it. You weren't supposed to use none. Now, am I saying that right there? No. If I saying y'all need to stop all that, hell no. By no means am I saying that. And y'all know I cut up now, and I'm finna cut up a little bit. I am not saying that you don't need to use some because some of y'all need it. No, see, I'm cutting up. I'm cutting up. I'm cutting up, Lucretia. I'm just cutting up.
I wasn't even expecting you to go there. Oh my goodness.
None of my sisters on here need it, but there's some out there who need it.
Listen,
I knew you would say something like that.
I wasn't expecting it.
Listen here. To be honest with you, some of us men need it. I seen some ugly men.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm just having fun now, y'all. I'm just
Who's
having
that?
some
That's
fun.
my pastor. Okay.
See,
But
sometimes
some people do need it,
yeah.
But they go overboard. They'll come here looking one way. Like I'm not gonna say the person's name, but I saw this girl, and I'm not gonna say her name. What did she say? I'm not gonna say.
Scott is watching over you. Scott is watching over you.
He talking about say her name.
Hey, Sister Trudy. Hold it. And I'm trying to be fair toward everyone. Hold that, because I thought I seen Shaquille's finger before all this got going. Did I? Did I, Shaquille?
I don't.
Okay, say what you gotta say before I turn Sister Trudy loose, because Scott, she ready to get out the gate because Scott already told her, don't you say her name now, don't you say her name. So he feeling what I'm feeling. So.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shaquille.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that thing on pride, man. That's because we already are rebellious people. And he did always, that's in that scripture. He always said it in his word.
Yeah.
So we gotta like let him humble us.
Yeah.
Like in Romans 12, man, we gotta humble ourselves before him, before you even go to him. Before him, we gotta ask him, humble us greatly. And help us to deny our flesh bad as we want to walk in our flesh.
Yeah.
We gotta ask him to help us deny ourselves, because we can't be at that wedding banquet with pride in our hearts.
Come on, man.
And if we find any pride in our heart, that's bad.
That's a bad.
Because he said, because he even told somebody, he said, our pride was found in you.
Told
you know what I'm saying?
Told Hashatan that.
All of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Pride was found in you. And it's in us too. How do I know it's in every last one of us? It might be in different levels. So that's when we have to always be careful. And not only because Yahuwah says so. Now I'm not making lighten that up, but it's because we have the nature of Hashatan in us through the fall of Adam.
Yep.
You understand me? That's how I know that pride is in every last one of us. It's just in different levels according to what he let us know or what he revealed to us or whatever. Man, I'm telling you, you might be all of that in a ball of chips. But remember what I just got through reading to you. The serpent was too. The serpent was all of that in a bag of chips.
Man.
But look where he at now.
You took medicine?
Look where he at now. That's what you need to realize.
He's in India now.
A cup of coffee too.
Oh no, I still got it. I'm gonna finish out with this one.
Oh, okay.
I appreciate it. You're not the same person.
That is humility. Let me put this comment up on the screen here. Well, baby girl London said, I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, Can y'all see that? Look at what she said. She said, I know at work they tried to give me employee of the month. I told them I didn't want it. Give it to someone else because I'm a supervisor and you should recognize the employee, not me. Now that's awesome, isn't it? She a supervisor. She already knows she's doing her job because the supervisor don't do their job. You out of here. So give it to one of them ones that is working under her. See, that's someone that is not trying to make
for her too.
You work for her.
Just because of that attitude.
Of course.
Oh,
Shaquille, come on
Yeah.
now. Come on. Streaming area. Okay, I can't stream without. I don't know what's happening here, but oh y'all, we might go off.
What happened?
Do you see this? Do y'all see this up on the screen? Let me see. Hold on. All this stuff is man made.
Yeah, you got it highlighted.
Okay, let me take her off. Let me take this here off. I don't know what's happening, but it's telling me that to end. Do I want to end the broadcast? I don't know if y'all see that or not, but I do. But it's not showing. Okay, it's not showing on the screen here. Let's see. The live just dropped. Someone just messaged me. The live just dropped. Okay, listen here. Let's
Did it drop on Facebook? Because I'm still on Instagram and I can see it.
You still on Instagram, and I see it here. It's still on. It's still on Facebook. Let me see. Is it still on YouTube?
It's saying it said was live.
Continue.
Yeah, it says was live on Facebook.
Was live. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, we're no longer live.
Yeah.
You're no longer there. Okay.
Mm-mm.
But you're on Instagram.
Yeah, it was live.
Okay. All right. I didn't know I was even streaming. I'm not even streaming to Instagram.
I mean, not Instagram, YouTube. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
So what we're gonna have to do? We're gonna have to end meeting, and you guys go back, and I'm gonna reset everything back up, and we'll go back at it. Okay? Because we only been on here like an hour, 51 minutes. So I'm gonna end this meeting, and if you can't use that same, I'm gonna have to send out a new link. That's what I'm gonna have to do. Okay, so I'm gonna end meeting. Yes, it closed out for some reason. Okay, Patricia said it closed out. So I'm ending this meeting, and then I'm gonna end everything else. Okay.